Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where last episode we moved the quest joint airlock from the port side to the starboard side. And now we need to get it strutted in. So Bill, you're just going to sit like here. I hope that you can reach from there. I think he might be able to. We can grab this strut here and strut that from here to approximately over here. There we go. And now, where are our other struts here? Well, this one actually auto-connected. This one did as well, although it's slightly awkward. And that one was already done. Okay, so I don't see other struts here. The ones that were here must have auto-connected to things. And honestly, I'm not too upset about the things that they connected to. Okay, that seems reasonably fine. So we're done strutting this in, I think. At least for now. It'll do for the moment, anyway. So that means that the quest joint airlock is done. The next component of this is to move ESP-1, right? So actually, Bill needs to hop back out, and he needs to let go here. And we're just going to head down to the Destiny Lab. And we're just going to mount ourselves here for the moment. Okay, just grab onto that. And now we're going to move ESP-1 over here. So that'll be fine. We're just going to have to rebuild this, right? So we currently have on here this guy. And it really doesn't want to attach out over to the Destiny Lab. Okay. That seems exciting. I guess we can put it there? But that's on the ESP-1. Yeah, it really doesn't want to attach to the Destiny Lab. Okay, that's noted. Can we store it inside of this cargo storage unit? Yeah, but that's this cargo storage unit. Can we move that now? Yes, we can. Okay, so that can be placed here. There we go. And then we're going to need this micro node. We can just attach that here temporarily. Then we're going to need this. We can attach that here temporarily. There we go. One more micro node. I'll stack that on top of the other micro node. There we go. And now for the hinge. And the hinge just needs to be moved. I'm going to move it to be actually on the window here. And we're going to put it right like that. Okay, there we go. Next up, we're going to need the micro node, of course, and that can get attached right there. Then we're going to need this guy, although that angling is definitely non-ideal. Let's get that rotated. So we're going to need to rotate this guy to be about like that. There we go. Now we're going to need the micro node. And we'll put that guy right there. That'll need to be rotated as well. So we can then do something like this. Oh, that was one tick too far. Let's bring that back. I think that's correct. Yep, that looks correct. And then we can place this guy right on top of there. Excellent. And then something like that. So there's that moved. Excellent. Next up, of course, we're going to need to be mounting this guy. And the question is, how exactly are we going to go about doing that? That's going to be vaguely interesting, looking at what we've got going on here. So first things first, we're going to have to release our grip on the quest joint airlock, right? That is mission number 1 here. So let's get Bill boarded here. Actually, never mind. Bill needs to unstrut this. Anytime you want to be available, Bill. That would be great. Okay, so now we need to unstrut this. We know that there are a couple of struts in here. Yep, these two. And I'm going to remove this, and we'll store it for now in this cargo storage unit, I guess. That's okay. Cool. Now, obviously, we're unstrutted here, right? And so we're going to pick up some sway, and we can see that happening right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to release. There we go. And I'm going to set this guy as our target for right now, just so that we can see where we're going. I'm going to put this away. So we're going to disarm the advanced grabbing unit. And then we're going to fold the alligator hinge over to 180 degrees, like so. And then we're going to retract the telescoping hydraulic cylinder. In theory, we shouldn't need this arm anymore for this particular deployment. Now, for this alligator hinge, I want to bring this out to be at least like 90-ish degrees. Maybe a little bit further. but at least 90 for the moment. And then we will need to extend it out as well. If I can actually see the arm, that would be great. I guess we can clip in like this, and then we can extend it out. Nope, that is the wrong arm. Okay, it is, in fact, this arm. There we go. So we'll extend that on out. And now we know the direction that we need to put this in at. So Bill's going to EVA quick here, and he is going to go into Kerbal construction mode. We need to secure this down. So we're going to grab a strut, and we're going to strut it from here just to here. And that'll do the trick for now. And then we'll hop in, and that will give us some solidification. I also want to extend this out potentially, but what we really need to do here is we need to rotate 90 degrees this direction, right? Because this goes on the bottom of the quest joint airlock. I'm just thinking about how this is going to be attached here. This is on the wrong side. We're going to have to move this over. That's okay. That's not a big deal. So we can position about here. And Bill, I'm going to need you to EVA. And we're going to need to go into Kerbal construction mode. We can reach it from here. So we're just going to grab the arm here. This is going to have to be rebuilt on the other side. Okay, so we're going to have to grab the arm here. We're going to have to grab the extension. And then we're going to have to grab each of these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start constructing it from here. So obviously this is the wrong rotation, right? But we can, snapping is on. Okay, so we can turn this to be, actually I'm going to turn snapping off for right now. We can put this here, approximately here. There we go. And then rotate this guy and put it here. There we go. And then rotate this guy and put it here. Rotate this guy and put it here. There we go. Next, of course, we're going to have this guy go right about here, but we need to clip it back. So we need to grab the move tool and just move this way on back to be about here. There we go. And finally, we put in the grab arm. There we go. So now this is going to be in a much better position to attach to the quest joint airlock. Next, I'm going to start going in reverse a little bit here because we need to be over on this side of the quest joint airlock. So we're just going to bring this back and RCS correct our trajectory. There we go. And that will also have the side effect of helpfully dealing with our small amount of velocity that we picked up from releasing the quest joint airlock. So that'll be absolutely fine. I want to back off maybe a little bit faster here. There we go. And then we'll come to a halt here fairly soon. We're going to need to go this direction a little bit, I think. And we're going to have to change our angling, of course. But that's okay. We can definitely do that. Okay, so somewhere around here or so. So let's come to a halt. There we go. Now, I want to change our angling here. We are not quite at the right angle, right? So I want to rotate us a little bit like so. And then this is inverted. Okay. So that would be because we're upside down. A little bit like so. Okay. Now I want to go off to the right from our current perspective. So that's left. This is also inverted. We don't need to go very far out over here. Just a little ways. So what we want is this to be about in line with this, right? So we want to just bring this down to around a little further than this. About here or so. Okay. Now we're going to need to go down a bit, of course. And we're going to do exactly that. So we're going to go down just a little ways. We don't want to go so far down that, like, our wing impacts the Destiny lab. That would not be great. But we do want to go down a bit here. And we're not at exactly the correct angle, but I want to get a little closer in before we finalize our angling here. We're a little far out still for angle finalization, but we can see that we're going to need to turn ourselves this direction a little bit. So we'll do that for now. Okay. That's looking reasonably good. We're going to need to update our rotation a little bit here. Like so. And that probably means that we need to go to the left a little bit again. From our current view to the left. So about like this. There we go. And we're still going a little down here. I just want to bring this over about like so. Okay. Now we can go down more, but probably still a little bit to the left here. That's actually up. Right. Things are inverted. Okay. So something like this, but we're going to need to continue to change our rotation here to be more in line. So about here. Which is why I wanted to go more to the left. Okay. So something about like this for now. Just watching our alignment here. Looks decent. So I'm bringing it back to just being vertical. There we go. And things are looking okay on that front. Angling is pretty close. I don't think it's exactly perfect. But it is definitely pretty close. Okay, so we're watching our height here at this moment. We want to be in line here, right? So we're just going to bring that right on down. And it's looking pretty close, but we're not quite there yet. About now or so. And we're drifting a little bit backwards as well, but that's to be expected. Okay. So now I'm going to take us slightly forward, just to arrest that backwards momentum a little bit. Okay. How are we doing on our angling? Well, we definitely still need a little bit of rotation in this direction. No doubt about that. And that means a little bit more to the left. Is the station slightly rotating on us? I think it might be. Let's hop over to the station, make sure it's on kill rot. That'll make things a little easier on us. Okay, so we're drifting over here. I want this line to be in line over here, right? And I think that we're not... I think we're a little overturned in this directionality. So about like that, right? Okay. Let's bring this in a little bit. We don't really have a target here, so we have to completely eyeball this, right? It's going to be kind of close, but I want to extend out this arm. So we'll just maximize that extension so that we grab it as early as possible. And we'll arm this for the time being. I'm a little concerned about impacts here. We'll keep an eye on that, but I'm going to start very, very gently heading in. Very, very gently. Angling is about right. It's not perfect, I don't think, but it doesn't need to be perfect. So we're just going to very gently head in here at 0.2 meters per second. And I want to just change our angling a little bit here. Slight alterations in it. Okay. Seems reasonably fine. I'm going to head this direction a little bit off to our visual left. Okay. Changing rotation slightly. And we should be grabbing momentarily. There we go. we are grabbed. So at this point, in theory, we should be able to decouple here, which would probably be for the best. Now the shuttle is going to lift off a little bit here. Actually, we are already in motion. Okay, that is absolutely fine. I want to set this as our target, just so we can see our relative motion. We can see we're going up and a little bit backwards here. So I'm going to bring us down a bit and forward a bit. But we can also stow this telescoping hydraulic cylinder. That was the traverse rate. We don't necessarily need to have that low. And the alligator hinge can get stowed. Okay, so that looks good. It looks like that light actually comes from this decoupler, awkwardly enough. But okay, we're going to close our cargo bay and hope that we don't actually push off, but I think we have the clearance here. Bill is now going to need to EVA. And he's going to let go and hop on down over here. So downward he goes, and he's going to grab onto the Destiny Lab. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to hop to the station, and the station is going to start the retraction of this arm. So we're going to set this target extension down, 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 all the way to 0. Okay. And yeah, I can see that the angling is not perfect, but it's definitely close enough, I think. So that's okay. We can adjust it with the arm if we really feel like we want to, but that will do the trick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start strutting this on. So we're going to strut it from here over to the Destiny Lab, just to make sure that that's not going anywhere. There we go. Then we're going to strut it over here where the grab arm is. So I'm going to do that from here to here. There we go. And that should do the trick, honestly. We shouldn't need much more for strutting. But just to be safe, I'm going to do one from this plate to the Destiny Lab, and then one from this plate to the Destiny Lab. Something about like that. And we'll call that good for the installation of ESP2. I don't think it's exactly perfect in terms of like orientation and such, but it'll do. It'll do. So up we go. And at this point, we're done with this mission here. So we are ready to bring these guys home. And I think we absolutely do that. So that'll be absolutely fine. Let's head on over to orbital retrograde. Let's turn RCS off for that. Thank you very much. And let's see how this is going to go. It looks like orbital retrograde is this direction, which is not quite the world's safest direction. So let's just use RCS to get a little bit of distance between us and the station for clearance purposes. We could just rotate, in all honesty. If we were to rotate to be somewhere around here, we have significantly more clearance. So that'll be fine. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's get out of here. Goodbye, station. We will be back. Cool. So with that installation complete, we can scratch another one off of our mission list. That's phenomenal. Of course, I didn't re-extend these thermal panels. We don't really need them extended right now, so that's fine. It's not actually a problem. But we can just bring our periapsis height on down to somewhere between 70 and 80. It really doesn't matter where. We're at 250 right now. 230. 220. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit of a burn. No doubt about that. It always is so. That is the way that ends up working. 180. So we've got about 100 kilometers to go. No problem whatsoever, though. We just need to slow down a wee little bit here. We're now down to 130. 50 more to go. Excellent. And we're good. Okay, so we'll call that absolutely fine there. Once we get to the periapsis, of course, we'll just do a bit of a circularization. And then we'll try to determine where we're coming in. I really do want to be doing land landings. I need practice at that. Water landings are much more forgiving. Much, much more forgiving than land landings, and you can make a lot more mistakes with a water landing. Land landings, not so much. So I do want to do a land landing here. That would be ideal. And let's just warp around. We're not quite at the node position, but that's fine. We're pretty close. So over we head. We've got 5 more minutes to go here. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Now, of course, we can get positioned a little bit more accurately. Right about here or so, and we can warp forward. 40 seconds, 30, 20, 10, and now. So this will circularize us at around 70 kilometers, and then, like I said before, I think we should be targeting, 20 kilometers instead of 30. Or did we do that before? Did we maybe think to target 15 kilometers? Maybe. I can't actually remember what I said previously. We'll try 15 and see how it feels. So try 15 kilometers in like the middle of a large landmass, and surely that'll work, right? That would be the goal. And of course, that does pretty much mean we're coming down dayside, but that's ideal anyway. So we're just bringing this down to a circularization for now, about here. That'll do. We don't actually care about this maneuver at this point. This is close enough. And that would mean that we'd be targeting around here for our 15 kilometers. So sometime around this apoapsis here, right? So that would mean that we would want to bring this down to 15 kilometers. We'd actually want this to be a little earlier. So let's lock to that node. And let's do something like that. Okay. It's a little late in the landmass, but we'll see how it feels. We've only got about 20 seconds until our re-entry burn here, so that's absolutely fine. 15 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, 0, and mark. Okay, so we are re-entering. We're targeting 15 kilometers here. I'm just going to put us on kill rot. I don't actually care about this maneuver. I mostly just used it for timing. There's 15 kilometers. Excellent. Let's vent out our existing fuel. We do not want that for weight distribution reasons. And we're going to head over to horizontal velocity up. Cool. And we can warp until we've hit the atmosphere here in just a moment. There we go. Let's hit the atmosphere. Cool. Here's the atmosphere right here. And we should be going down reasonably steeply, in theory. Let's physics warp our way on through, and we'll see how this ends up going. It's going to be interesting. No doubt about that. We'll see what the results of this are like. It would be really nice to be able to just deposit our periapsis exactly where we want to land and put it at a particular height. This actually... Yeah, this should be, I think, almost certainly overland. And that's good. But that sort of a pinpoint precision landing would be really nice to be able to pull off. No doubt about it. But it just... You really have to feel out the aerodynamics, right? You really, really have to. For now, of course, we are over a lot of water. But we should be coming up over land pretty soon. This is actually going to be very, very close to the KSC. So that's great. We are seeing our landing position moving up a bit. In fact, moving up quite a lot. But I do believe that we are going to be over land here. And maybe even quite close to the KSC. Actually, we are going to be quite close to the KSC. It will be around here or so. I'm not going to try to land on the runway. That's not the mission here. But, yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. Cool. So we're warping on through here. We need to lose a fair amount of speed before we can be particularly maneuverable. And then we're going to need to lose a bunch of altitude, right? We're still pretty high up, 30 kilometers right now. We are passing over land now. Phenomenal. And we are losing speed precipitously. Down to 1,700 meters per second. 1,600, 1,500, 1,400, 1,300. Yep, we are slowing down rapidly. And that's good. That's exactly what we want. We're down to 900, 800, 700. We are now in an area where it is considered acceptable to do maneuvers. Here's a question. Do we want to do maneuvers? The answer is yes. If we look at our horizontal speed, we don't want to lose all of our horizontal speed before we are low enough. So I want to actually be getting a bunch of... Kill Rob, please. I want to be getting a bunch of vertical speed here. And I want to go down around here-ish. Can we not have the spinning, please? Thank you. Can we not? Thank you. Okay. So we're going to be going down around here-ish. I'm going to get our gear action group out. We're not, of course, going to be looking to land here. We're just diving down and losing altitude right now. We're going to come out of this dive and target landing somewhere around here. I'm not sure what the tree situation over there is going to look like just yet. I also think, yeah, we're heading over this direction. So that's, you know, mildly awkward. Okay, tree situation is not too bad. We definitely want our horizontal speed to be approximately equivalent-ish to our vertical speed. Okay, I'm going to bring this up over here. We're a little high up still, so I'm still diving mostly. I don't really like the roll situation that we've got going on there. But yeah, we're still diving down right now. I'm going to turn on the brakes action group. And I want to know our radar altitude. Okay, we're about 1 kilometer up right now. So I'm going to pull us up here. I'm thinking right now about overshooting this section of trees and landing out over here. We'll see if we make it. Our horizontal speed is dropping significantly. I'm not sure that we do end up making it. We're going to have to lose a little bit more altitude here. Yeah, this could be potentially spicy. Okay. We're just trying to make it over this bunch of trees right now. Cool. We're holding attitude here. We are in approximate landing attitude right now. And we're slowing down reasonably nicely. Shoots out. Okay. Looks good. Not bad for landing on rather rough terrain. We'll take it. We'll take it. That definitely worked. Phenomenal. So we will, of course, bring this on back. We'll recover this vessel. And we'll need to get payment for that mission. But it is about time to put a cut in here. So we'll need to get the payment because I will almost certainly forget if we don't do it this episode. So that definitely needs to happen. 100%. We'll get that payment and then we will see about the next mission in the next episode. I'm not sure what it is yet. I haven't looked. We'll find out. We will definitely find out on that front. So as soon as we get loaded in here, we can get our payment. I don't think I've ever actually looked. 100,000 funds recovered. Okay, that's actually pretty spicy. I didn't realize it was that much. That's almost half of our launch cost. Noted. Well, we definitely need to get our payment, so we're going to get that. There we go. Phenomenal. And next episode, we are going to be doing some sort of thing with the ISS. I don't know what yet. I'll have to look at the list. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.